Broadcast live.
Lord, please lead the way. I think I need that. I know you're so innovative. Whatever's in there, I need that.
You know, my phone's just died. I'm
I
on
see
another
you.
phone. I'm switching phones, B. Come on, we on this shit. You know what I mean?
We're making it happen. All right, I'm here.
Yo, so sorry, man. So you're talking about, like, you know, seeing KO for the first time in the studio, an artist that, like, obviously you looked up to. You thought was the best rapper then, and he's doing everything. And how you felt it was important just to get him on this joint. That's what we were talking about before we cut.
Yeah, so what I was saying was, having seen that, and then that being the driving force of who I then later become, like, that's why I've become, even musically, the guy that wants to be able to do the hook. That's why I do everything on and off. Like, I'm gonna sing the shit, I'm gonna rap the shit. It's gonna be the best rap shit. It's gonna be the best song, not the best singing, but it's gonna go down. Like, that's why I'm gonna direct the video. That's why I'm gonna act on it. That's why. It's because of having seen that and seen, like, shit, this nigga's gonna just do the whole shit. And then now, having become, like, such a great writer, right? Having given other people hits, having done Dlala, having seen the success of that, and then making this song, right? Because when I made it as it's structured at first. Like, it was the opening hook, was the verse, and then the hook. And I left it at that. And I was like, all right, cool. This is the session for the night. And this is the first session I'm ever having with Zuchi, by the way. So that was crazy.
Yeah. By the way, Zuchi produced the beat. Someone asked to produce the beat, but Zuchi produced it.
Zuchi. Oh my goodness. Which is all the piece is also a story of its own, but we'll talk about that on the actual balcony. But
Dockie's on the way, by the way. Dockie alerts, just so you know.
Let's do that.
Yeah, I know you're talking like everybody knows, so like Dockie alert, you know,
Yeah. Let's rock out. So yeah, me having spent so much time in the game, having, you know, clocked in my 10,000 hours, and realizing even when I listen to that song, like, how great a writer I've become. Like, regardless of how deep that is, how well written the song is, just blew me away. And I was like, as the student of the GOAT, this would be the time to call on the GOAT and be like, I know you feel me on this. Obviously, I had the fear of his truth not matching mine.
Yeah.
But I also know who he is. So I was like, here it is. You know? And also, so between him and I, it was a moment of, oh, okay. Because ever since the Cashtime shit from back then, people had always wanted to hear, like, a specifically KO and, at the time, I guess, Smashis song. So the fact that I ended up being the guy that makes the song good enough for us to meet the standards of what people expect that song to be and bring it to the table is a whole nother, like, just thing on its own. So yeah, it's a wild story behind it, but those are the type of things that made it worth it to make that call.
Now, I mean, look, KO's still in the game, and you keep on saying that you're the best, but you just said that he was the best. So now, how does best look like now?
He's the GOAT.
So he's
the GOAT.
From the best to GOAT.
He's the GOAT. Like, Thunder Republic is the best hip hop album of all time in SA.
Yeah,
it goes down there. It's like, we can't even discuss that. Nobody's ever done that. Not like that. And then, I guess, let me not make a list, actually. Let me just say that and leave it at that. So
don't make a list, because I've got another album that I think is the greatest album of all time. So don't make a list.
Which is what? Let's chop it up. Which is what?
Nah, don't worry.
Okay,
It's
that's cool.
biased. It's biased.
We'll have it off the record. We'll have
It's
that
no,
conversation off the
I can
record.
say it. I can say it. It's biased, but
Okay.
like, well, I'm not saying like I think it's the, but I think it's one of the greatest, and it has to be. It's a Squatter Camp album, the first one.
What was that? What should be cool, Kunet?
Yeah. Mkuku Function, actually. Yeah.
Mkuku Function. Yeah.
I mean, look, I say
That's a
that.
classic. That's a
I'm saying
classic.
that, like, I mean, look, 20 years later, they're still playing one of our joints. You know, I mean, how many songs 20 years later are still being played?
Not a lot.
In a club with kids that don't know who the fuck is Squatter Camp.
Yeah, not a lot. Not a lot.
You know, but like,
not a lot.
That's that. But it's not about. It's
I
not
feel
about.
you.
It's a bias. That's why I never wanted to express. But it's one off. It's one off. And I think every generation will have days. You know, I mean, I think for my generation, obviously, someone who's probably was your age when we came out, they could say that. But at another time, KO's album for another generation is the greatest hip hop album that came out. You know what I mean? So it's not a fixed opinion. It moves based on generation, the way I see it.
But the thing is, for me, if we base, I feel like if we base the conversation of what we think is great on the art itself and leave the impact we can discuss that further. But if we put it on the art itself,
I don't know. I think that Squatter Camp
that man rapped better than Pro on that album.
Yeah. Okay, that's a controversial and a debatable statement. You know what I mean? But I think that but like, I mean, these are real conversations. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's just whack that you're having a conversation with a person.
Tell me this. Tell me this. Do you think Pro has made a better album than that? Because if we're talking about the album, we're looking at
let's talk
how the
about
album came together.
Let's talk about Pro Rest His Soul, right? Let's talk about
R.I.P. first of all, which is one of my goats.
I mean,
I love Pro. Let's not get it twisted.
My view, you know, and this has always been my kind of discussion, because remember, you know, I had a relationship with him when he was making the album around the time. His first album, Heads and Tails, I could always pick up the lyric. He was always being lyrical forward, but I don't think he was always like musical strong. Do you know what I mean? Hence, you know, Utinino Pro literally for me was his strongest musical kind of man.
That was his strongest offering, as a song,
right? Yeah, as a song, just song, right? I mean, but I mean, if you look at this album that KO did, obviously that album for me musically,
that's songs on songs
lyrically, and I think that, like, I mean,
top notch.
But remember also,
delivery is top notch.
But here's the thing, right? When you talk about Pro at the time, right? And you talk about even a Squatter Camp, all of us were coming out of American influenced hip hop, right? And all of us were coming out of like this is the real sound of hip hop, the boom bap, the we were still trying to create a sound, right? By the time KO and them, they were learning from us and going, oh, this is how this sound is created. But then by the time that they kind of learned and they learned enough, they said, but this is how we want to direct it. So they never had to do the job of actually trying to figure out the sound, because we'd already were the foundation of the sound. So they were already building on our sound and improving it and saying, I could still make this dope, lyrical, musical, and everything else that would be appealing. While when we were making songs, you literally had to make a dope song, but don't be too deep on the lyrics. You know what I mean? For the mass market, if you're going to cross over. But I think KO and them came at a time where he could be vernacular, drop a dope song, and off the foundation of what a Pro, a Squatter, a Pitch, Amo, all these guys and what they done. You know what I mean?
And you know what I have to say to that? You know what I have to say to that? Let the chips fall as they may.
And look, that's why I'm
those were the circumstances,
and
regardless of the circumstances, because if you have to listen to it 10 or 100 years from now, those stories are not attached to the music.
I get it. And
Those
that's why
stories don't come with the music. The people who have to hear it at that time are just going to have only the music to reference and be like, so who performed on the highest level? Who
so
put
here's the thing.
together the best body of work?
Are we talking about body of work? Because when
We're
we
talking
talk
about
about
body of work.
yeah, when we talk about body of work, though, I'm still saying that like it's going to be important to see whether I mean the stuff that you've dropped, the stuff that everyone has
Yeah.
dropped who's popping, it's going to be important to see that within 15 years it's still popping.
Of course.
So that's why I'm saying it's difficult to speak on a squatter camp because 20 years later, why not? Some of our joints are.
Because
I mean,
you guys are the truth.
but
I
wait,
don't take away from that.
but no, but wait.
Yeah.
I'm saying to you, like right now, right? You
Mm-hmm.
got like a conversation where like you're talking about a pro album. Although I'm saying to you, I do feel that like Pro wasn't strong musically, but I do feel that he was the foundation of what KO
And
is
I
doing.
concede.
You know
I
what I mean?
concede.
Because
Yeah.
he was lyrical and KO's. So Pro literally also had to come up with the okay. I'm still boom bap, but I'm still trying to develop this sound. By the time a KO jumps on it, and that's why I know KO really like stands Pro.
Yeah, he
KO
did.
really stands
Yeah.
Pro. You know what I mean? So already KO already knew that
For
like
me,
this
my
cat.
thing is regardless of how it happened,
I
because
hear
it
you.
doesn't matter how it happened.
No,
Like the
but
thing
people
is,
won't care
okay,
about
wait,
that. People won't
okay,
care
wait.
about that.
Let me put it to you like this, right? Let's say Nasty on some like crazy time in South Africa. I don't know how, but he makes like an album better than like Skanda Republic. And this is like as a South African representative, right? It will not matter how many people inspired Nasty before then. When you are having the conversation of which album really represents the best way and musically stands out the best, it won't matter how it happened or how many albums it took Nasty to do it, or none of those conversations are going to matter because people are going to listen to the music and be like, musically, this is the best representation of South African hip hop. If you wanted like a statue that says, oh, South African hip hop, like this would be the best. This is the first thing you put forward. Like, oh, this is how South African guy would talk. This is the mentality. This is the sound. This is the groove. This is the hood. It was everything encapsulated into one.
So here's my thing, right? Here's my
Yeah.
thing. And I think there's layers of this, and I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
Everything you're saying is 100.
Mm-hmm.
The truth of the matter with all music, right,
Yes.
is always also going to be judged on in that generation. Does this thing still stand up, or was it just for that generation? So take, for instance, 50 Cents, and I'm going to go America a bit, right?
Yes.
50 Cents basically was okay, these niggas here. 50 Cent basically like was rapping all gang, boom, 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 boom. And back in the day, you had to be hardcore and you had to be streets. A rapper like Drake would have been a gay rapper. I mean, and with all not to like.
And was when he came in.
A rapper like Drake would be perceived like, oh, that's probably the gay rapper. Yeah, it's
well,
no, but you know, hip hop
not
is
necessarily
been,
gay.
hip hop.
Soft.
No, but hip hop has always been like that, where they were like saying,
yes,
the gay rapper.
Today, I'm just trying to help.
No, I'm not.
Let's
in the
use
wrong.
the word soft is what I'm saying.
Okay, soft.
So that you don't have to apologize to anybody.
Okay, fuck it then. I got you. Thank you.
Soft.
You know that's why the young G's need to help the old G's kind of walk with the walking stick. So you could have had an artist like Drake, even Kanye West, you know, would have been seen
soft,
as a soft artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So today though, Kanye West and Drake are the hardest artists, right?
Yes.
And 50 Cent they're like irrelevant, and I wouldn't want to use the word irrelevant, but like they more like they're like, why are they so aggressive? People like, why are you so aggressive? You know what I mean?
I feel you.
It's like, how would
Yes.
Pac live in this environment?
Yes, but
wait.
when
So what I'm trying to
okay.
get to is in the generation of 50 Cent's, Jay-Z, and everything else, 50 Cent's had Get Rich or died trying.
Yes.
In the
Yes.
generation of Drake, this Drake is like still the hottest guy. You got the
Yeah.
generation of Little Uzi, and the difference is that all these are different
Drake
young
is still the hottest guy, even in
but
the generation of Uzi.
but you too old though. You too
No,
old
but
to have
Drake
that
is still the
conversation.
hottest guy. Drake is still
But
at the top. This is a consensus. This is
yes,
not even opinion.
this is
This is
stats
not
and data.
opinion.
No. This is stats, but no, this is based on stats
Who's
and
the
data.
biggest
You
artist
said
in
that
the world, Slicker?
no,
Who's the biggest artist in the world right now?
Drake.
So that's what I'm saying. It's still Drake's time. Even during Uzi's big moments, it's still Drake's time. Drake is still the biggest artist in the world today.
I agree with you.
Yes.
But we talking like in pop culture. Drake is still the biggest artist. Is the biggest artist in the world
Right now, yes.
Okay, so in pop culture, Drake is the biggest artist in the world, right? But
Yes.
when we talk about like in youth culture, which is something else. So when we
And
talk
now
about
you're picking a corner. As soon as you say
no,
youth,
because
you pick
let
a
me ask you:
specific corner.
Do you think Skanda Republic was the biggest album in pop culture or in hip hop culture?
Where was it not big, do you think?
No, I'm asking you a question. Do you think it was the biggest artist in pop culture or hip hop culture?
I think the entire moment was big for everybody.
In
Was
pop
it
culture.
not? In
Because if we
pop
talk,
culture and in hip hop
we,
culture, are you telling me the hip hop core didn't appreciate that album?
am I telling you? I'm saying so. The
I'm
question you asked me,
asking, like, which
I'm asking you a
corner
question.
do you feel like was not fulfilled?
No, when I say pop culture, I'm trying to say that hip hop, like Drake is hip hop, but like he's big in pop culture,
But it's
right?
pop, yes. So he's both,
Yeah,
yes.
he's
And
both,
I'm saying
right?
Skanda Republic was both.
Okay, so it is both, right?
It was.
Yes, I agree. I'm not disagreeing.
Yes.
But
Okay.
let me ask you: if you
Mm-hmm.
give that album today to to a generation that literally fucks with Patrick Lee, right?
Okay. Yes.
In that generation that fucks with Patrick Lee, what you're gonna say? You're gonna say this shit was fire because it did this at this time.
Nah.
Do you think they'll be able to connect to it?
I think the thing is,
No, it's a question. It's a question. Do
yeah,
you
and
think they'll be able to
I'm
connect to it?
answering it.
Yeah.
I think there's if you are musically inclined, I think there's music that is fire timelessly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like right now, that's why as soon as you put it in a pocket and you say youth and you say generation, I'm talking things that live beyond that. Like Get Rich or Die Trying is still fire today. Like if you are somebody that understands music and can understand what makes a certain type of like music fire, regardless of whether it's overhyped or not, then you will play that and agree that that is fire music. It's like
Let me
this
ask you a
is
question.
good.
Let me ask you a question, right? And I'm asking
Yes.
this question as an artist,
Okay.
right? When you listen to all the Drake albums, and you listen to
Mm-hmm.
all the J. Cole albums, and you listen to
Yes.
all the Kendrick albums, right?
Mm-hmm.
No hype. Which
Yes.
where do you think which albums do you think are the most musical from those guys? I'm just naming them as the top three, maybe right now.
The most musical, it
Yeah.
would be the Kendrick and the Drake albums.
Okay.
All of
So
them.
so now
All their
let's say
catalogs are the
okay.
most musical.
Yeah.
But
Now
all
let's
three niggas are good. All of it is
okay.
top-notch music.
So tell me right now, and
Mm.
so let me say I got all the J albums, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jay-Z albums. I got all the
Mm-hmm.
50 Cent albums, I got all the
Okay.
Ja Rule albums,
Yes.
Um, if I've got all those albums, right? What I'm trying to
Mm.
literally like show you is that in each generation, there's
Yes.
always gonna be a generational shift where there's gonna be this whole new world of artists, which
Yes.
literally like speaks to a new generation that says, "Yo, okay, I fucks with Jay. I respect Jay, but I'm fucking with Drake." Because that's what happened with like when
Yeah.
people started moving from Jay to Drake. It was a new
Yeah.
generation of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm trying to say is that like, as much as if we talk like a pro squatter, all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
that's one generation, and then came like Les, and came tear gas, came all
Mm-hmm.
this. Then a new generation was like, oh shit, now this is our shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then came AKA Casper and that generation Ricky, and there was a new generation that said, "Oh no, that's our shit," and they
Mm-hmm.
literally are saying something is a classic there, bigger than whatever has happened before. Do you know what I mean? So all I'm just saying is that yes, things are popular, and once you've gotten over that, it's about what are people still playing, regardless of what generation you come from.
So what are you saying is not playing from like a Skanda Republic, maybe?
No.
What are you
I'm
saying
saying
is
that
not playing?
I'm saying
Because
that
if a
Skanda Republic.
car comes on till
No,
today, it still goes
no.
down.
I was about to say that Skanda Republic is still playing,
Still
regardless.
alive, and I think
And
it's still
even
gonna.
and I
The
mean
thing is,
even
I
the
hear
even
what
the
you're
joint with
saying.
Nandi, even the joint with
Yes,
Nandi.
yes,
So
he's got classics. What I'm saying
exactly,
is, I hear what you're saying, but classics transcend that. That's the
exactly,
point. Yes.
exactly, exactly.
So that's why I'm saying that to anybody who's musically inclined, they'll be able to play the music and recognize it for what it is. It doesn't have to
Okay,
outdo
you're right.
what's popping right now. We're not
Yeah.
saying somebody who's gonna hear it from right now is gonna be like, oh, this is better than what I like. No, but
Ah,
they'll be able to appreciate what it is and understand why it lives.
and they can even study it.
Yes.
You're right.
That's the makings of a classic. So that's what that means. And I'm
Remember this.
saying that body of work has all the makings of that. As far as if you are categorically picking something to represent South Africa and hip hop, it has a mixture of an originally South African sound, which is Kwaito, which wasn't sampled but remade into a hip hop sound with the language from the hood, and the rap skill is at its highest. What do you mean? This is the best representation of the genre. If you are playing something for a South African citizen, not someone who's lost in the internet and thinks Little Uzi is the greatest they've ever heard. Like, you play for a South African citizen who walks the streets of South Africa, and you say, in rap form, who speaks for you across an album?
Well, here's something that's very interesting. For the
And
first
why are we
time,
talking about other people's music for so long? But let me hear you say what you got to
I
say.
know, but when we're having a conversation, we
Yes,
don't
it's a
do this,
great
right? We don't
conversation.
do this
Say
often,
say
so
what
we
you got
might
to
as
say.
well.
Yes.
And you got a lot of opinions, and I like that. But the
Mm,
idea is that, like, just to add to what you're saying, I mean,
mm-hmm.
it's for the first time, though, jazz has done it where, you got like songs by Abu Hugh, Abu Mamir Makeba, for
Mm-hmm.
the first time, South African hip hop is literally gonna probably have like classics. And if we are saying, do we believe Skanda
Yeah.
Republic is got it, is gonna be one of them? Yes. You know what I mean? I agree
Yes.
with you. And
Yeah.
but like the question,
Okay, let's
why
just watch it unfold rather.
let's watch
Because
it unfold.
we're gonna go back and forth all day. Let's watch it unfold.
But
Let's go.
you know what led us to this. You
Mhm.
said you the one that started
I
the
said he's
conversation
gold.
by no, you the one that
Yes.
you the one that said that he's rapping better than the pro albums, or well, you compared it to the pro album, and I
Okay.
said
Let,
that's
let me
that's how it
let me
started.
let me pick a specific moment in that album, right?
Yeah.
What was that
Which album?
freestyle called in Skanda Republic?
Yeah.
What was that freestyle called? That had the Niabasabana, Asibasabi, hey,
Yeah.
Niabasab. What was that song called? Whatever that song was called. when you listen to KO rap, right, on that song, I think there's 3 verses on that song. There's probably like 26 or 30 different flows, and there's probably like 100 different syllable rhymes in that one song. For me, right, I have never, and we could play that song against any other song. I have never heard anybody rap the language of isiZulu that well and on that high a level. I'm not saying he's overall a better rapper
Okay.
than Pro. I'm saying on that album, he raps better than Pro. He has a moment that he put
You
on
you,
record
you
where
hit it.
he raps outstandingly, where I have never heard anybody take that language and rap it like that and run through the language on that level. I have never. The only person that has probably come close, and he pushes it, but has never gone that far. Because that man on that song plays with the language on a level nobody has, is Zagwe. But Zagwe is good on a certain dimension of his. KO moves everywhere on that song, and it's
I
just
love it.
nobody's ever done that, and you can't debate that because you can play songs back to back. And I'm not saying he's a better rapper than,
Yeah,
I'm talking
yeah.
about the body of work that he put on record.
I'm
And
not gonna
that's,
dispute
you
it.
feel me, you feel
Yo,
me.
you studied it. I'm not gonna dispute it.
That's all I'm saying.
You fucking
That's all I'm
I love
saying.
it. I love it. You studied it. You know what I mean? You
Yes,
studied it. You know what I mean?
that's my
You,
job. But for me, it's like, when I say I'm a great writer, I'm not saying it because I believe in myself or whatever. No, like I studied what it means to be really good at putting a song together word for word. Which word sits where, and what's the best timing for a word to sit at certain places of a beat. This is something I studied. I'm not, none of this is freestyled. Yes, I don't write, but none of this is freestyled. This is knowledge. This is, when I do, like when I make a song like Dlala, it's not a fluke. Like, that's not a fluke. It's not like, oh, I had a great night at the studio. No, that song hits people because it's well written, and because the message in the song and how it is delivered specifically the way it is done.
do you
Those are
think people
things.
do you think artists are studying this shit that you're saying though? I mean, all the stuff.
No, of course not. Because nobody cares, but I care. Like, I'm an actual artist. I care. Nobody cares. People can listen to anything. People will listen to anything as long as anybody else says it's fire. Then they'll fuck with it. But like people can't tell you why they fuck with Dlala, but I can. People can't tell you why they fuck with Lead the Way and why the song makes them feel the way it does, but I can, because I'm not doing it by chance. Like, I'm a student of the game. Like, I can point out why this is better than this. It's not just an opinion. Like, it's different when you're fetching it from the book. It's like, this is the right answer from the book. This is not an opinion. It's like, you can break things down mathematically and you can study the science of things. That's that's real life. Whether it's music or whatever type of art has a mathematical and a scientific like explanation. So if you get it, you get it. If you don't care, and it will never matter. But there's people that my music is gonna touch. Like, my music is gonna travel beyond like borders because it has the knowledge behind it. Like, for me to approach a song like Dlala like that and to touch it like that, and for it to be able to hit older people and make it reminiscent of that sound and the people they used to listen to, like Jabu Kanyile, and it's because I heard those people. It's because I, in my delivery, made it reminiscent of the people they grew. It's because I studied that. I've heard that. I didn't do it by chance. Like, that's how it's done. It's not like I just went in the studio. It's like, oh, sing whatever, and if it works, it does.
Man, I love it. I love it. I
Yeah,
mean, you see, we could talk about songs, we could talk about whatever, but you see, this is the knowledge that you have, and you don't display this a lot of times. So
I
so
don't. I
so
don't.
so,
That's
so
why I was so hungry for the balcony because I was like, why don't I talk about this shit? Like, I'm a fucking genius. Let me let everybody know. And I guess we'll have it whenever we have it.
you see,
But like, it's like my 10,000 hours. Nobody can buy this. Like, you can't. It's because I've been around so long. It's because I had to do it. Like, for me, when I got signed, the reason why I'm this good at this shit and the reason why I know this shit this well is because when I got signed, all I could do is rap. Like, all I could do is put a verse together. So when I was left in the middle of nowhere to have to do it for myself, I had to figure out like how to make songs, like for real. Because I had no idea. I was like how to make good songs, like how to make songs that other people like, not something that I think is good. Like, what makes a chorus good? What makes a chorus hit? What's the difference between like a rap chorus and a singy songy chorus? Like, what is melody? What is like everything? I had to study everything because I didn't know any of that shit. When I was in Cashtime, shit, AB knew that. He could sing a hook. I didn't have to know that. KO knew what the best topic to have on a song is. He could just tell me. I'm a good rapper. I can just write a good 16 about that. I've done my bit. You know, KO know how to put together an album. I didn't have to know that. But it's like now I got to do it. And I really did it. I sat down and I studied the whole shit. And I sat there and I was like, until I could do it. Now I can do it. I don't need anybody to do it. And that's why I say that on Lead the Way. I'm like, it's Chigi niggas season, Zoens and John. Tell these niggas I will never need them. And Zongenzelani. Like, I figured out how to do it myself. I literally don't need anybody. Like, I can do the whole thing. I figured it out. I learned how to do it because niggas left me by myself. So, oh, okay. Because I
you
still want
know,
to be the best. I'm going to do everything then.
here's an idea. When we get out of this quarantining thing, we gotta do it and hit unpacking. So I literally gotta show you, like, play a hit, say, like, let's say, well, shit, flight school is big right now, right? Say as
Yeah.
an example. It goes, so
Hmm.
unpack this. Why do you think this is working? You know what I mean? We gotta unpack hits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That should be some dope shit. You know?
Yeah. That would be dope. Like, for me, to be the rapper that I am, to make like Lead the Way or like whatever I've made, right? It's it's different to be dope at what you do, but it's a whole nother thing to understand the whole spectrum. Cause I've got hits in different genres of the shit. Like I've got rap hits, I've got like drum hits, I've got piano hits that I ghost wrote, I've got different lane shit so that means I understand how to do it right in a lot of different lanes. Like Dlala doesn't sound like Himaliam. Himaliam doesn't sound like Lead the Way, but they're all great songs in the same way.
Yo, man. Yo, here's what I'm gonna ask you, because we are quarantining and everyone is at their crib. I just want
Yes.
to kind of like rotate the camera, just let's see what's happening while I read you some of these messages, from people, like Bonga, cool. You got that?
Let me read these actually.
Yeah,
Oh, are
rotate the
you're
camera.
saying?
I'll read for you. You just rotate the camera. Let's see what's happening around you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Um,
So Bonga
so I'm
Kula
chilling outside.
says Zingah School's OG. People are
As a
saying
writer,
wow. It's saying stop express
as a
painful.
can.
It's saying stop grilling Slikour. Zingah, fuck, brother, just stop it. You know, Prasen is saying I'm out. Lord of the Jig. Trappy Sam is saying stop touching your face, Zingah. Um,
Shit. I shouldn't
The
be
song
touching
that
my
you're talking
face.
about, like the song that you keep on talking about, is called "No Fear." By the way, the KO song that you mentioned.
Yes, no fear. He's right. Whoever said
That's
that.
from TK Loops. African Spawn says the boy is wise. Um, Styles by these saying you talking facts.
The boy is
Umashaya
very
zero,
wise.
yeah.
The boy is very wise.
Yeah. Umashaya 035 saying Qinisile, hello, Lord of the
This
J,
is
you
where I'm
know.
chilling. Yes.
Umnqobi Ngubo Lentle says that's true. Siyabasaba na always say that that's the different flow in the rap game. So you know, you're getting a lot of kind of reaffirmation of everyone of everything that you're saying. You know, African Spawn says you should check out Daylight. And you know, like this Gotelian friends, TJ Gotelian friends says, yeah, it's the learning part that matters, you know. I see you out here, like you got your prize stand,
Yeah.
you're gonna be in your hole. Caesar saying, am I listening? Yes, I'm listening. Like the look on Slikour, like you're schooling me, bro. Yeah, you are. You're schooling me, you know? Shit, you know? This is
I'm
it.
a,
See, the people saying the balcony interview is needed. Yes, we know, we got it.
yeah,
And you know, TJ saying you can tell that you've put in 1,000 hours. You know,
10,000 to be specific.
10,000 hours. You
Yeah.
know, and Pillar says you know yourself. You know, yo man. But yeah, man, this has been dope, man. I mean, obviously, like we were talking about, like we weren't talking specifically about your single, but like it is out there, lead the way, you know. So
Yes.
featuring KO, make sure you get it on all streaming platforms. But I think this was really an opportunity in your comfort to talk your shit, you know.
Which I gotta do because you niggas are disrespectful, including you. Sorry, big homie, but you disrespected me. I saw you you put a list of like, what was that list? And you were counting like generations or whatever. I think that were influential or some shit. I don't know what you were counting. And you only counted Kid X. And I was like, what? You're like, this list came from, so it's like from top to bottom in generations. From your squatters, double H's. I think you're talking
Oh,
about
I
the niggas
remember
that.
that thing. I remember. No.
I
You
was
know what?
like,
Yo,
what? I was like,
yo,
first of all, we need to stop bullshitting because we need to have frank conversations. We need to have conversations like, why did Cashtime even matter?
so let's start from the top. I know what you're talking about that list, and I
What
see
was that list?
that wasn't it. That was a list where we were asking people to tell us, and we used those names as examples. We were not saying that is. We used them
You
as
can
examples.
never skip me when you're counting anything. You could
As an
never.
okay, yo,
You,
but here's the thing though. The thing is that like you know the name of the name of the game in music, right? It's almost like you got music out, you meet up with me, you say, yo, B, check this out. You know, I mean, some stuff doesn't organically and automatically come. And we're not also reading like sleeves like we used to back in the day where I can see that, oh, you know what I mean? So,
which is cool. Which is cool. But I'm from the hills. You can't skip me when you count when you're going down like the history of what happened in SA hip hop. You could never skip me.
why was Cash Time important?
What do you mean? Where? Who?
No,
Okay.
you
Okay.
just said
Wait.
that you asked me that question, so
Who
I'm
opened the door of the new
asking you.
generation? Who was the
Huh?
first to? Who was the first to be the new generation? The middle childs now.
Of course
Who?
you guys were. You guys.
Because
You guys.
okay, let's talk
You
about
guys.
at the time, who existed at the time. You guys had a youngin who was Questa. Tear Gas had a youngins, which was us,
Yeah.
and Double H had Casper,
Yeah.
right? And then there was AKA, who's like everybody's son, kinda,
Yeah.
whatever. Who were the first to pop and really go?
Y'all is a group of the
Okay,
first.
let's talk about the influence of the game. How much did we touch the game? As far as being kids in the game, there was no kids in the game. It was just all you old niggas. We were the only fresh faces with
Thanks for
no
telling us,
beards.
niggas.
My bad, it's the truth. We
You
were the
gonna be an old
first.
nigga too with some dyed hair, motherfucker.
I'm starting to. But we were the only niggas. We changed the way people talk, the way people dress, the lifestyle. We changed the lifestyle outside. We changed the face of hip hop before everybody else could come in who's our age and who's in our generation come in and do what they do. Who set the president?
Listen.
Who set the president? You
Yeah,
asked me what Cashtime means. I'm asking you. I'm
no,
giving you
listen.
the answer.
But hold
Did
on.
we not set that precedent?
You know, when you say it, I agree with you. You know, but check it out though. Here's one thing I want to tell you though. Here's one thing I want to tell you.
Yes.
The world is got amnesia, B. I mean, and
that's cool, but you are hip hop. You are hip hop. You're not the world. That's why I'm addressing you.
No,
I'm
okay
addressing you. If anybody else had said it, I'd be like, I don't give a fuck. That doesn't matter. You are the game. You the backbone of the shit.
But let me ask you a question though. Let me ask you a question. When we always meet though, right?
Yeah.
And I just want to let you know that, like, firstly, that thing that you're talking about, they were examples. But let's move from that. But when we always meet though, always meet, don't you think I get it? I get it. I get what you're doing, because you put me aside and you said, yo, and haven't I been saying, well, we gotta do this thing. And before you were even like fucking around with my Porisa when you were still dropping your singles, I've been the dude that's been saying, yo, you know what I mean? So I've been asking you to wake up to yourself. So now you're waking up to yourself. And,
which I'm doing. All I'm saying is, let my name not be disrespected. My name gotta be in the books. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean,
there's no way I'm not in the books. There's none of these niggas who didn't have to come see me at that time just to figure out how to even be cool, how to even walk. All of them had to come see me. I had all these niggas come to the crib. Who was the coolest kid out?
Listen,
who even created the coolest kid out thing for there to be an essay?
Listen, Smash, let me tell you, right?
Yeah.
I want to be 100. Here's one thing that you got to take from this, right?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody, I believe I'm the culture, but if I ain't speaking to tell my story and own my story, ain't nobody gives a fuck about Slick. Let me be 100 with you. It's like, I'm not.
Are we talking about the culture, or are we talking about the world? Because I'm talking to the culture. I'm talking to you.
We talking about
in the culture. We'll always care about Slikour, no matter what Slikkour's doing.
Fair,
because we know what Slikour did.
But here's my thing, though, Z. If we are speaking like this, I'm speaking to you, and I'm allowing us to have this conversation where I want to show the shit that you know, right?
Yeah.
I literally like it. Not everyone can talk to me. I make music too. I understand. Yeah. I believe you can put me in the studio. I know how to make a hit. I can sit there and do that, right? It's just that's not what I'm doing. But this shit is shit you do consistently, right? Mm-hmm. But there's only a few people you can have certain conversations with. So, So when I'm here having this conversation with you, I'm having this conversation on the basis of I know who you are. You understand?
I want you to act like you know who I am.
Well, listen.
That's all I'm saying.
So I got to put it out there.
And I want everybody else actually to act like they know who I am. It's not just you.
So here's a very important thing, though, Zing. Ain't nobody gonna. The thing about if you got a gift, people are either intimidated, people are either don't want to embrace it, people feel like you're a competitor. So everyone else around you that you
all of the above.
So everyone else that around you that you feel should be giving you those props, literally like could be looking at you like a threat, and they don't want you to. They don't want to put you out there so you can literally be acknowledged. So that's why in history they say the winner, the winners who tells the story in the end. What's very important for you is to be in a position where you tell your story and you have people who also want it. So other people have other people who help them tell their stories. All I've been asking you to do is that I want you to tell that story. I want,
that's the only reason I'm saying everything I'm saying now. Because nobody else is going to say it.
So that's why we're having this conversation. So you gotta say
I'm saying it.
this shit. You gotta say this shit. And we a media platform and we gonna broadcast it. But like I need to get you ready to say this shit because I can't. It's almost like you've always been dope. You've always had the swag, and I've always told you this. But you've always been a kid that's like being full of shit, right? When you're young.
I'm hella full of
now,
shit.
let's just say that I see you've got all the potential. I can't help you if you gonna act like I'm trying to be in your way or I'm just whatever. You know what I mean? Or at least I can't literally give you that. Okay, cool. Let's give because some people lose their opportunities because they just full of shit, right? So
that's a fact.
So you literally have changed up, right?
Yeah.
And you focused on your music. And let me just say you've grown, right? And with you growing, you're growing into yo, this is what I do, and I'm taking care of my shit, right? So with that being said, do I back up Zingah? In public, I'm gonna back him up and I'm gonna support him. But behind the scenes, because I know he's a dickhead, I just keep quiet. and when I see him, I just tell him that when we one-on-one, like other people, I go, yo, you dope. But I'm not gonna like kind of go out my way to kind of.
You're not gonna raise my flag?
I'm not gonna go out my way because I'm gonna do something and then you're gonna respond and say, yo, fuck that shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you know, it's almost like people also try to protect themselves when people are also dicks to a certain extent.
I feel you, yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you're saying you need to be acknowledged and you need to be put in the story, of course you need to be put in the story. But you gotta literally know that we're allies. I'm not against you. You know what I mean? You know, just because I'm older, just because like whatever, but we allies. But a lot of kids who start blowing up, start thinking that we're not all in the they don't look at us like the same, like we're just artists. They just make songs. We all, no matter how big you are, you're still just an artist. You know what I mean? In some people's perception. And if we don't gang up together and work with each other, then fuck it. Then, you know, then I'm almost going to look at you and say, well, let that nigga think he's hot, but I know how that's going to end. You know?
Yeah. But also, I'm just saying this because I'm having a conversation with you. I'm literally making the music to make this be known. This is not like... I'm telling it to you because you and I have honest conversations. But like, for me, the music will let it be known. Like, I think that's already happening. Like, whatever I touch right now has a classic feel to it. And that will tell the story for me. Like, that'll be...
You know what? And then you know what I want to do? I want to literally like complement the story and amplify it where I can and share it and I believe that like a lot of other people are gonna wake up to that too, you know.
Yeah.
So my view is that you shouldn't even worry about this shit. It's just a matter of time.
I'm not worried at all. I make the best music. I'm chilling out.
And you keep on pulling out that music, you're gonna be alright.
I'm gonna be alright.
Yo, Smash. I mean, Zing, I still call you Smash. Jeez, but
which I always tell you is okay. But this is, for me, this is the thing. Like, you know what's funny for me? And I got to see this in real life. When I was Smashis, everybody was like, man, Smashis is whack. Don't tell me about Smashis. This, that, and that. As soon as I said, okay, I'm changing from Smashis, I'm no longer Smashis, I'm now Zing. Everybody's like, oh my God, no, are you sure? Because, you know, Smashis is like, oh my God, that was like, and all of a sudden, Smashis means so much to everybody. It's like, so I know, like, I'm aware from real life experience that they'll never tell me how much I mean to the game in real time. That's cool. I'm cool with that.
So here's my thing though, B. I think you're gonna get they're gonna tell you. But and when you go back to Zingah and when you go back to Smashis, the thing is that Smashis had all the potential, but he wasn't allowing everyone to literally like also push him up with regards to, oh yeah, we see him. Because he was treating everyone like everyone is smaller than him. That's how Smashis was. Straight out. And when you started doing Zingah,
that's crazy.
When you started with going Zingah, you started also pushing out a lot more content, and you were building the Zingah brand on music. But remember, the Smashis brand was built on this nigga that that's swag, attitude and pompous and everything else. And it's okay to have swag, but you were acting like you were acting like everyone is smaller than you. That was the thing. So when you started doing Zingah, Zingah was more dropping music. So building the Zingah music brand. And the Smashis brand was all the swag, but it also had like some negative connotations with it. So what you don't know is that you are also developing the Zingah brand. And you're going to see it's going to grow. And with all the shit that you're doing, come on, man. I ain't going to miss you as an example.
I'm comfortable, Slick.
Again.
I'm comfortable. All I'm saying is, I'm just no longer going to let everybody act like I'm not the best. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's cool.
Hey, yo, Smash B. I'm like calling, because someone's asking why you changed your name, Smashis. You're Smashis, bro. Your sound, yo, Smashis. Some niggas still calling you Smashis. You know. But listen, man, I think we need more music from you while you're helping everybody else. You know?
Definitely.
But nonetheless, B, I wanted to have this conversation with you. In everything that you do, I do feel that like people really they really receive you the wrong way, you know. Well, not everything, but most of the times. But you're highly talented, you're highly musically educated, and you give a fuck about this, about doing the right shit in the studio.
Huge fuck.
And
I give too much of a fuck.
Yeah, you know. So with that being said, man, I wanted to read the questions, but we've been speaking for so long, man. Shit, you know.
Oh, this was supposed to be short, right?
Straight up, B. I don't even know how I'm going to forward this to my team because we're quarantining and I got to send this as a big file. Damn, but like it is what it is.
Wait, are you posting this somewhere?
Yeah, we're going to post it on the site also.
And you let me drink beer on the thing?
Come on, man. Niggas, we quarantining.
I'm at the crib, I'm chilling.
Only from tomorrow. If I called you tomorrow, then like, yeah, you know, you're going to get arrested.
And I'm topless. Quarantine and shit. I'm the realest nigga to ever do it, though. At least they'll know that much.
Yo, shout out, man. Yo, B, shout out to you, man. Good luck.
Shout out to everybody that tuned in.
House, man. Yeah, man.
Go to the Ching. I'm just gonna be out here working on being even better.
Shout out.
Shout out to you, big homie. Big love. I already know.
Shout out, Zing, all the time. Thanks for the frank conversations all the time. You already know.
Every day.
You know what I mean? Shout out, dude. Nice.
Appreciate you.
Broadcast live